and gentlemen, and welcome to the one, the only, the Fan Show. This is a music division special. We have not done one of these for a minute, but man, we got a great guest for you today. I, of course, am always the T-Man, Richard T-Man, and today, flying high, we've got the band Keep Flying from Jersey, New York area. Gentlemen, welcome. How you doing?
I thought for a moment you had me going. I was like, wow. And then you brought it in at the end. You stuck to the landing. For context, a lot of people think our band name is Flying High, and I thought that that's what you were about to say. And I was about to be like, wow.
No,
That's
no. So I have been in that boat before. The last band I was in was called Not For Now, and everybody thought it was Not For Nothing. And the irony is that that turned out to be a band. There's a band now in my hometown called Not For Nothing, and a buddy of mine who was in my very first band is part of that band. Like that's how crazy and small the world is. So I get it when people think that the band name is something that it isn't. But I wanted to make sure I got it right. So Keep Flying is the boys here in the box. We got Henry, we got John. Big Pete will be making an appearance. If you follow their social on IG, you're going to love Big Pete. But man, guys, this is a real treat for me because I love talking with bands. You guys never have any shortage of stories. But the first question I got to ask, and I got to know, okay, this is like a serious one. Avril Lavigne or Haley Williams? You can only pick one.
That's a
mm,
that's a I don't know why I thought so long. I should have just went with
you
a very
go.
quick answer. My answer is Avril.
Okay.
Mine too.
I know the songs and that hit me. I'm 39. I don't know if I wouldn't say I missed Paramore, but it wasn't like a thing that was pressing on me the way that Avril was.
Okay.
So, just right out the gate, like you say the two, and I would immediately my brain went to the left. So
Well, and there's no specific on that question. It's very open, meaning that in your mind, it's whatever you think of first. It could be looks, it could be it could be their albums, it could be their impact on the scene, it could be whatever it is, but it's just you got to pick one for whatever your reasons are.
I think Avril, you could base it off our age, I guess, but I think Avril was more impactful for us at the time, and I think that because we were at the age in which you could be impacted by that kind of thing.
yeah.
And Haley seems. I think to us, this is going to sound kind of like gauche, but I feel like Haley feels more like a contemporary to us versus Avril, who is kind of has a super stardom. I think to people our age than Haley Williams does. Not that she doesn't. Haley Williams is a huge artist, but it just feels like a different echelon of artists to me, at least.
I guess on a personal note, and an old band of mine, I played a house show in Nashville that she was just at, which made it
That's what I'm saying.
made it more like we're the same
I do,
versus
right,
versus the Avril
right.
level.
I feel
One
like
of us. One of
Yeah,
us.
right. It was
she
cool. It
feels
was cool.
closer to us, even though she's not by any stretch of the
Right.
imagination. She just somehow feels more closer in our circle, I guess, by association than Avril Lavigne does.
All right.
You know,
That's
so.
fair. That's fair. Like I said, it's meant to be whatever your interpretation is of the question. So now moving on, I love to do a quick Google search and check the Wikipedia for the bands I'm interviewing, even if I've known them for many, many years. But it
I don't think we
says
have one. I was hoping that you'd make us one because no one's made us a Wikipedia yet.
you don't officially, but here's what the internets have to say about Keep Flying. You guys were
This is
established in
fun.
2015 from New York, New Jersey. From the band, or
Close.
I guess members are from the band,
16.
survey says. So is all that accurate? Okay.
16, but yes, it was the from the ashes of my old band. Survey says came this band.
Okay.
So
Not a bad band name either, survey says. It sounds like
It's a
something
terrible
if
band name.
if you were a
It's a terrible
big
band.
Tell them why.
No, it was well, we spelt it wrong because it was just when we made the MySpace page in 2008. There were three. There were three that already had the E, and we're just like, let's just do this because it was just me and my high school friends making terrible songs in my basement. So like, it really didn't matter, and then it accidentally became my life. It wasn't anything that was meant to be serious, and then it became my calling. And a few things happened in between then and now, and here we are. We're keep flying.
Which is a perfect segue into my favorite question, which is the band name origin story. Now, some are good, some are not so great. Mike Herrera, MXPX, confirmed what it said on the internet that, they were Magnum plaid and the dots looked like X's, so they became MXPX. Jarrett of Bowling for Soup has said many times where the Bowling for Soup name came from. It was a Steve Martin bit that was bowling for shit, and then, they put the soup on there for their first show. Blink 182, everybody had their theory about where the 182 came from, but I just read Mark Hoppus's book, and apparently he
And
just threw the number out there. And that's very, very disappointing to hear because I had some really good theories on where the 182 came from. So, where does Keep Flying originate?
I'll let Henry take this one, but I'll say ours is great. I know you started this segment with some are good, some are bad. Ours is great.
Awesome. I'm excited now. All right, let's do it.
Proudly.
So there was a short-lived television show called Firefly,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
which which spawned a movie of the same universe called Serenity, which somehow most people are aware of Serenity, but not Firefly. Um, and it's a just for brief context, it's a futuristic sci-fi show. It's like a sci-fi western um, about a rogue group of people kind of living on the fringes of society, and not kind of going against uh, convention within the show or like within the world that they're in, and they're kind of just take jobs and living off like I said the fringes of everything. And there's a specific line in one of the like intros of the show where it goes, "Find a crew, find a job, keep flying." And I remember when we were kind of spawning the ideas of changing what we were doing with the band at the time. And originally it was supposed to be more of a name change, but it really became more of a mission change and more of a new band and a new focus and a new objective. And I remember just watching the show for the thousandth time and hearing that and thinking, wow, that was just something clicked. And I was like, that sounds like not only a great name for an artist, but it kind of puts the mission statement of our band within the name. Um, we write a lot of songs about perseverance and survival, and I think that our name kind of encapsulates what the music is about, and also is a decent message in and of itself. So, um, I got it from a TV show that I like, and that's more or less the story. I could go way deeper into what it means to me, but
You could
that's
also
the abridged
find
version.
it on a plaque or a quilt at Marshall's. You know, just the phrase is just a really uplifting, simple message, a reminder. And most of our people in our community, they don't know about the Firefly thing, and it's just for them is that, and they often say it, and that's perfect
You
for
don't have
us.
to. You don't have to.
It's
It's
perfect.
just where I got it. You don't have to be. It's not. It's not as though we're singing. I do borrow from the show in terms of theme, but like I'm not singing about the show. We're not a wizard rock band. We could or not. But yeah, there
If
you
we
go.
if we ever make it, we may fund the second season
The reboot.
that never happened.
They try every year. They try something all the time. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I love the story. I love the name. And it's funny because, yeah, Firefly, everybody that was in that show went on to be prominent members, cast members of like legit shows that somehow those ones worked, but that one with all of them did not. And of course, I'm a huge Alan Tudyk fan right now. Resident Alien is my jam.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to that show. But somebody said that for people that don't know what Firefly was, it was Guardians of the Galaxy without the Marvel budget. And I was like, okay, that's kind of, right around.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
You could that's a fair assessment, I would say.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully it does come back. There's a huge fandom for it, even after just one season and one movie. So I love that there's a tie-in with that. I always love when there's band names with tie-ins to pop culture. All right, so keep flying. Are you guys ska? Are you technically ska?
You're hitting the hard. I like this interview style. This is good.
You just went in.
Just hit them hard. No,
That took me.
that was good. I like that.
That
That
took
was
me
nice.
out.
I'm
Are you Scott?
right?
You like?
Never mind. I almost. Um, the no, I would say no.
Okay, that's fair.
From its origin, speaking from the people who are making the music, we don't factor it in at all. Like it's not an ingredient in the recipe. But if people taste it, I guess that's open. Once a song is out there, it no longer is yours, right?
Yeah.
To a degree. So if that's the way people take it, I can't stop them from thinking that. And I think in the early years of the band, I tried, and you can never really. There's no such thing as dispelling public narrative. You can't convince people anything. So I would say no, but if people think so, it's fine. It's not like a pejorative. Um, except if they're using it as a pejorative. That's the whole thing. It can be you can think it's from that, but
Not for nothing, to piggyback on Henry, or rather off Henry. Other people say what we are and aren't. Like I'll Ricky uses them Facebook groups and stuff, and like he'll pop in some of those ska ones, and there'll be people in there that are like, "Oh, what about Keep Flying?" And then there's other people who love that music who are like, "They're not ska!" Exclamation point. And then and then at the other side, you got the people that are more casual listeners that are like, "Yeah," because they see the horns, you guys are ska. So we definitely just let people have it however they want. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
a great thing for us is a great example of where we fit is we are playing Four Chord Music Fest this September, and the day before we are doing the Supernova Ska Festival pre-show, not the festival, but the pre-show because it got a ska band, it's got a punk band, Escape from the Zoo, and it's our friends karaoke band that is just they do covers and it's fun. It's a great live experience.
And that's why this becomes an even bigger question for us. If we had some other element of another genre, like if for some reason I started rapping on our tracks, the debate wouldn't be, oh well, is Keep Flying a hip group? It wouldn't happen that way. But because ska fans are so interested in discussing where bands fall within that world, that's just how we get put in. That's how this conversation becomes a conversation, even more so than it would with any other world of music.
They do this with Streetlight Manifesto
all the time.
Yep. They do it with our Expanded
all the time.
They do it with the World Inferno Friendship Society. Yeah. Pretty much anything that has horns, but like is playing other forms of rock music. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, well, okay. So happy to play with who wants to play with us, and happy to have folks out to the shows who want to enjoy a good live show.
We are genre fluid.
Well, I do like the mix. Everything complements itself. And of course, with ska bands, I'm used to a dedicated horn section, trombones, trumpets. But with you guys, the saxophone is in there almost as the like dominant horn, or I guess woodwind in this case. And it really complements the songs that it's in, where you get that full taste, that flavor of saxophone. And so I think that whatever you guys have done, you've done it very well. So props. So, 10 years in the industry. I was in bands from about 2002 to 2014. So you guys came on just as I was wrapping it up. And we were definitely behind the social media curve. We were starting to get into Facebook more. We were getting into Twitter more. Instagram, we weren't really existent on, and we still had, I think, the password to our MySpace. So social media has become a huge thing for any industry, especially the music one. But what have you guys learned in 10 years? Like, what has the music world taught you? I mean, how has it helped the band, and how has it made challenges for the band?
I've thought about this for a while now because I'm sure this conversation happens constantly.
Yep.
The short answer, because like Henry said, we could just go on, for me is simply it's a tool that has to be used. Whether you choose to use it or not is your choice. But what we've learned in the industry is that you need to adapt and you need to pivot and you need to lean into the strengths and maybe let go of some of the things that aren't working. And every band, which is basically a business, is going to have success on one platform or two or none or all. And you won't know until you're trying it. And on top of that, in regards to the kind of the second half of what you were saying, how it affects like daily routine, basically, it's just a new routine. It is something that we often get said, or I often hear, like, oh, have to pull out the phone and film this thing, or we're filling gas up. Let's just do this video clip right now. Sure, yes, but also there's other things that we're no longer having to do anymore. Like it's changed. So this is just what it is now. And I don't have to open up a binder and read the directions that I printed out off of MapQuest on how to get to the venue. Instead, I don't have to think at all about it. It's just in the phone and you're there. So it's kind of just yeah, adaptation.
I got really fired up yesterday. We're recording this as we've been kind of off for a couple of weeks from tour. We were out for about 2 months, and now we're about to be out for 3 more weeks, and then breaking stuff up. So I was away from the road for a little bit, and I literally yesterday, just like you said, people talking about doing the videos and making video content. I have a big rant that I'm going to talk to my band about later about that. But to condense how I'm feeling about it in this present moment, one of the things that I discovered is that as a band, your job is to create. I think the root of it is to make the music, right? Like I haven't lost sight of that as the vision. I know that's not as important for every single band, but for me, that's the origin point for everything you're doing. And there's such, for at least let's call it bands of our age bracket, maybe people that existed in the time that you were discussing, 2015, 2014, when we were leaving MySpace, we're going to Facebook and Instagram, and the whole landscape of social media is changing, and now it's changing again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if all of us in that bracket of time want to be bothered by another paradigm shift. and to that I say, too bad.
Yeah,
it's too bad. And it's not the fault of bands or labels or movers and shakers in the music industry who are making these demands on you. It's the demands of the crowd. It's the demands of people's attention. This is the content that people want. This is where people are finding things. This is where they're finding everything. It's up to the audience. If the audience wants that, you have to give that to them. Ultimately, if you're able to find an audience that doesn't care about that, that's great. Like we have, what's so strange about our particular band is that our fan base is unified in liking us, but they're a little bit fractured when it comes to social media. We have people that only find out about what we're doing or engage with us on Facebook, and that's it. Which to a lot of people people call them dinosaurs for that. We have some people that are only on TikTok, and they get their updates from our TikTok, which is like newer for us to do. But they're there and not over here. They're not on Instagram. They're not on Twitter. Like it's so odd to have to kind of mitigate how to reach these people, but that's what you need to do, or we're not reaching them, or we're not succeeding. And I know that this is hard for bands to hear, but it's another arm of your creative identity. So, use it or lose it. I don't know what to tell you. I get bombarded by people being upset that we have to keep adjusting. It's like, well, sorry. What do you want to do? Do you want to do this or not? You have to.
Yeah. Some don't, and good on you. Like anything, there always will be outliers, right? There'll always be businesses and bands that are able to do next to nothing extracurricular work, and everyone's at the shows and everybody knows that the shows are happening and people are buying the merch, and that to those people I say that's amazing. Not because I don't want to do the work, but because I'm really glad that it organically is happening for you without having to spend so much extra time. But what am I going to do? Sit around and wait and hope that, like, just pray that that happens for me?
I I wanna wrap. I'm gonna wrap it up with this and with my indignation, and then we can get to your next question. I had a choice to make. It's either do I keep doing this and be upset at my station, or do I adapt and try to keep making it work so I can keep being a person in a band who wants to put their own music out there. The choice ultimately was adapt or die. So we don't want to stop doing what we're doing. And if we have to keep making adjustments to do it, then that's what we need to do. End of story.
And I appreciate that stance. I respect that stance, and I relate to that stance a lot. When we were, in I guess my version of our peak as a band, when we had shows where there were label reps coming to check us out from time to time, I wish that we would have had more of a grasp on social media because it kind of handles your promotion. I did promotion for a club in Spokane where you were putting flyers on windshields, for like 4 hours a night. And now social media has kind of handled what the flyer is because you can post an update to your Instagram, to your X, to your Facebook. I mean, what the rejects are doing out there with these pop-up backyard and bowling alley shows, you can't do that with just the website. That's the power of social media because people get your updates, they know where you are when you are, and they can show up.
They're brilliant for that. I love
Oh,
what they're
it's
doing.
it's awesome.
It's
I love
fun.
it so much.
Such a good use of their I would say power, but like their reach and their ability and their notoriety to do something so grassroots and in a really intelligent way. So sorry, didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
off there.
that's a good add-on. And so that I think is one of the tools and one of the benefits of social media. I don't think a label should ever come in and look at how many followers you have on certain socials, but it is a business at the end of the day. That's one of the things that I wouldn't be particularly a fan of is, well, how many, what's your reach on Instagram or what's your, how many likes on Facebook? That part I wouldn't be a fan of, but I also wonder if it takes away some of the mystique of bands because growing up you had these bands and they would be a certain way on stage and you're like I wonder if they're like that all the time and there would be videos that would maybe be recorded on a T-Mobile Sidekick and it would get posted somewhere online and it's them doing pranks to each other backstage but now it's like we constantly have a camera available to us I feel like I'm being watched all the time even though I know I'm not but it's like if I screw up somewhere and somebody catches it on video, now all of a sudden I'm going to be somewhere I don't want to be. And so I feel like it's almost too much backstage access, but that's just a personal opinion because I always liked the mystique of like what is a band really like in real life, and you didn't see them constantly all over the social medias this interaction or doing this, but that's like I said a personal opinion of mine.
I think there's no question with that. The reality TV era is
Bingo.
certainly what has caused everyone to kind of feel like I'd like to know more, and I have access to so many other people of any sort of notoriety. Why can't I have that access to you? I think, of course, entitlement to the access, not in a bad way necessarily, but just more so it's expected because it is so common by most. But of course, there is pushback to that, and plenty of creatives who are not like that. And I would say that that only increases what you said, the allure to knowing, you never see so and so out there. I wonder what it's like, and so there's still curiosity. So I think you could try to find a good mix of giving some and not giving all, so you can keep your humanity. Um,
That's what I that's what I believe. I aim to do, and I would like us to do. I think that there's a lot, even though it feels like you'll see a band that posts every day. Um, and maybe gives people more access to something than you would think. It's like getting the special features of the live DVD all the time.
yeah.
Um, I still know that there are things that people don't put out there, not in a nefarious way. It's just that there's private lives. It's not we don't do we don't need bands to be Love Island and just have you know
Yeah.
the cameras running the whole time.
That'd be an
Look at the
interesting
lighting now.
Oh, the lighting's so
that
much better.
oh
Thank you,
man, we're
McCabe.
seeing
Thank
in the
you.
light. Yes. John and Henry. Okay, there you guys are.
I do other things, as it
Not,
turns out.
not to
Oh,
mention, like more recently for us, it's public knowledge now. But when Ricky was, you know, we found out that Ricky was going to need a neck surgery for rocking too hard. By the way,
hey,
Wow.
it happens. It
we
happens.
didn't say anything until the tour almost had wrapped up. We did the second half, like almost 4 weeks, without making it known why he wasn't there. We had a couple people realizing it from the clips, but he didn't feel comfortable and wasn't ready to share and wanted to wait until he had all the information on his recovery and what the surgery was going to be, and then we did it. And so there's an exact example of, like, we're not going to say something right now. It's personal until it needed to be, and he wanted it to be made knowledge, at least the parts that he wants to people to know.
Yeah, and that's fair, and that's decisions that bands, I think everybody has to make when it comes to social media. So, like I said, solid answer from you guys. I love your
Yeah.
approach to it. It's a tool, you use it, and I agree completely. So, once again, they are Keep Flying. They're on the second wave of their tour right now for Time and Tide, and we've got one more serious question before the speed round of fun questions. So, this one I wanted to
And then
say for
we're
last.
bringing in Pete. We're bringing in Pete for the speed
Oh,
round.
okay,
Oh, boy.
okay. Gonna bring in Pete for the speed round. I like it. So the last one, you guys, obviously, you're with Smart Punk. They have released or brought back from the dead the Warped compilation CD, which I cannot tell you how near and dear to my heart that album is. The bands that I discovered from just buying that blindly and listening to it start to finish, not skipping any tracks. I mean, Pierce the Veil, Mayday Parade, Bedouin Sound Clash, Ann Arbor, Of Mice and Men, A Skylit Drive. I mean, these are bands that it's like, whoa, I have to go and see them based on one song off of an album. You guys are on this one. What does that mean to you to be part of that legacy now with Warped Tour and Kevin Lyman and everything?
It's big. It is 100%. I mean, they were playing the CD on the PA while people were walking in to DC Warped. And there is a surreal thing. I mean, I'm not bragging when I say we have managed to find our way onto a few dates even before the countrywide tour ended. Um, so we've been there to a few things a few times, um, and there's a surreal feeling every time because just like you, it's the same idea. We would I was a patron. That's that's a rite of passage, right? So yeah, to have our work be part of what they're doing and to be involved in any sort of way is really special. And we thank Warped for allowing it to happen. We thank Smart Punk for putting us on there, and yeah, it's a really really great thing, and we're happy to be there.
Is that a phone call you get from Smart Punk say, "Hey, you guys cool with this?" Or it just shows up and somebody messages you, "Did you guys know that you're on this album?"
Well,
Yeah,
we
there's more. I mean, yes, do I break the wall down and just say it? I guess so, because this will be the first and probably only interview podcast where this has been said. So that's kind of nice. No, Smart Punk curated it. They pitched this idea. They wanted to have a stage at Warped Tour. They could not make it work with the new owners. Um, so they were able to come up with this idea instead. I believe that the way they made it work was all of the VIP ticket holders received this as part of, like, their package. So already many thousands of units were going to be used for that. Um, the way the curation worked was there were several people involved, including Smart Punk, of course. We are a Smart Punk band, so Matt Burns, of course, made it happen, along with a few other bands. We did end up playing DC Warped because Smart Punk was granted a space with Loyal to the Craft, like a tent that had, some speaking and some School of Rock bands, and it was really awesome. I'm really glad to have done the first one back that way. But the comp was, kind of curated by several people, and we didn't know where we were going to be on there, and neither did they, because I know that Smart Punk did not have the final say with the track list order. So the powers that be over in the Warped Vans ethos bubble. Why we got track 6 on disc 1 is amazing. I felt really honored by that. Like that you could have been track 17 on disc 2. Again, I don't know who's that position, but if someone's going to put the CD on, they're going to make it through at least some of the first songs, right?
Right.
You
So
have
I
to.
felt
You
good.
have to, man. Like,
Yeah, that felt good. So thanks to whoever ended up picking the final track order. Um, but yeah, we kind of were asked about this many months ago by Smart Pump. Do you think overall it's a good idea? You think people will care? You think we could? How many of these you think we could sell across all the dates? And kind of just brainstorming the business part of it. And I do think it was successful. I mean, I've seen a lot of people. I know that between that CD and ours, I don't really think anyone else was out there peddling CDs in the crowd whatsoever.
wow.
Which was the way it used to be. Of
Oh
course, we
yeah.
know that.
Oh yeah.
But most bands don't even have CDs anymore. Number one. Number two,
We do.
I think the festivals. It's a bigger festival kind of thing now. It's I don't know whatever people's urgency was for doing or not doing it, but we did, and we sold a lot, and I know that they sold a lot for $5 the old way. There's nostalgia to that.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess ultimately we're honored to have been put on there, and I'm really glad to have been asked my opinion on the whole project in general. Like you said, maybe we give that to somebody who likes our band, and then they're on track 20, disc 2, and they're like, "Oh my god, I've never heard of this band before. Here, take it." Hopefully, they find new bands because we did the same thing. I also found a lot of bands. I found many bands from one song on that comp.
Yeah.
100%.
Many comps. Labels did the comps too, and I found they threw them in the packages for free. I found out a lot of bands that way. So I agree with your sentiment on that, and I hope that there's even 3 people that find us or find another band on that comp through us, and then that makes it all worthwhile and fulfilling.
Yeah,
Super.
for people that haven't heard of Keep Flying, some tracks I'll recommend to you. Mistakes, obviously, a big one, which I have a question about that track specifically here in a second. But 198 Broadway is another great one. Delusional, Surviving the Night was fantastic. So if you guys want to get a real feel for this band, go and check out those tracks, Spotify, Amazon Music. Mistakes, how was that the chosen one, so to speak, for the album? Did you have a say in that? And what was like, hey, it should be Mistakes?
To me, I think it's the strongest single off of the new record, Time
I
and
can see
Tide.
that. Yeah, I would
Wherever you
agree.
get your music. Um, I think that the goal of Mistakes to me was to make it appeal to as many listeners as possible. Like at heart, we're a punk band, we're a punk rock band. I understand that not everybody even knows what that can mean, and I kind of created it to be something that I can show anybody in any venue of listening at any time. And so it's been the one that I've led with when showing people the band or the new record. Uh, I mean, there's other great examples of songs that encapsulate what we do. I'm not saying that song even does everything that we do. It doesn't. It's actually one of the slower ones, and we play very fast. But I think that is a really accessible song, and I just wanted to lead with something that can get you in, or at least as I believe, to get people in, and then hopefully they check out everything else.
So who whistles on the start of the track and how many takes? How many takes?
Only a few.
Oh,
Only because it didn't take as long as I thought. I was worried that it would be, you know, because like it's not like it's a hard part, but whistling into a microphone, you have to get the right direction. You have to not get wind noise.
yeah.
You have to. I really wanted the inflection to be really perfect. I wanted to make sure that it trailed off the right way, and just because I wanted to make sure I got it right, I feel like I only did it like 5 or 6 times. It wasn't too bad. So you know,
I mean, it's a solid part of the track. I honestly had to ask because I wasn't sure. I was like, I want to know if they did this like 10 times and then they're like, you know what? Is there a way to AI this thing or, or what?
fair
But
enough. We
yeah,
don't AI in recording. I mean,
Fair.
it's probably chopped up. I mean, you comp what's called comping vocals. Like you take the best version of this part
I
of
don't
the
think we
bar
did.
and put it together. I mean, I might have gotten it in one take.
I think it was a one taker. I don't think we popped it at all.
Oh, well, great. I don't remember that part.
He got it in one take. We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that when we were doing it, we were all like, "Oh no, you actually got it!" Like that was the response. Like we were like, "Oh no, I think this will be fine. We could definitely record this and just go for it."
Yeah.
Because same thing. We thought and then oh no, it'll be good. You know.
So
I got it. I know what I'm doing.
So you guys on the Warped Comp CD? Are you guys playing Orlando?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Awesome. Okay, I know somebody else who will be
Unofficially
in
or
Orlando.
officially is to be determined. I don't know, but we will be there regardless. At the moment, we're still waiting to figure out our fall touring plans. But if certain things don't come through, we will be spending like a good chunk of time in Orlando that week doing a series of other events around Warped, which I am very excited about, kind of like Fest Gainesville style or Pooza in Montreal. Like there's just going to be a bunch of shows happening in Orlando, in Sanford, in Melbourne, and it's going to be a really fun week where we're pretty stationary and we can just pop up and do different sets and different set lists. And I think that's going to be really cool for our community that we have down there and those who will be traveling in. So.
Well, I'm going to call out our local venue here, the Newberry in Great Falls, Montana. Newberry, you need to Keep Flying on the schedule. Bowling for Soup's been here. Boys Like Girls are coming here this month. We the Kings have been here. Keep Flying can be here and put on a great show for Great Falls, Montana. So Newberry, get on it. Let's go.
Is that anywhere near Bozeman? Was that where we played Bozeman at one
About
time?
2 hours north of Bozeman.
North.
Yeah, you're closer to Canada than you are the U.S. at that point.
What is over there? Where's Leah's mom?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. Well, I do love the track Mistakes. It hooked me. And then I posted on Instagram. And the story is the official story, guys, of how this interview came to be is, I post this thing, I take Smart Punk and then Keep Flying. They like it, and then we follow each other, and then they reach out and they're like, "Oh, your show's so awesome! Like, we should be on it." And I was like, "Okay, like we'll make time and whatever." But no, this has been a great conversation with you guys. Love hanging out. Love the track Mistakes, especially because I kid you not verbatim, but a version of the chorus was something that I said to a girl back in the day as a line that I dropped to her. So, but there's a story to it. This podcast isn't about me; it's about you guys. So we can talk about that later.
That was an amazing lead-in. You're gonna leave us.
All right, fine.
Just you can make it quick. It's okay.
Fine. Okay, so I had just gotten through a nasty breakup. Okay, like you do, and I was at the bar that I would go to with my friends, but it was a random like Monday or Tuesday, and so none of my friends were there. It was me literally drinking alone, and I think I checked in on Foursquare, and a friend of mine who I had worked with, who was part of our mutual friends group, then messaged me and said, "Hey, you want some company?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, come on down." And so we're having a drink, and she's like, "Do you want to play some pool or darts?" And I was like, "Do you just want to go back and like make some really good mistakes?" And whether or not anything happened, I will leave it at a mystery. But that is, yeah. So
we'll let Pete finish that story.
I respect you on high levels, brother.
Yeah, it was, post breakup, let's just cut out the BS kind of thing.
Yeah, I understand.
I know, that's good. Yeah, that's a great approach.
We've all been there.
When you're 24, 25, that's what happens, man. So
we have all been on Foursquare.
We've all been there, except for our new guitarist, young Dave. He's not been there.
Oh, man. The Foursquare days. That was something. So it is time for the speed round. Bring in Big Pete.
Round up.
Let's bring up Pete in between Henny and I. Come on, Pete. All right, here he comes. Let's get a drum roll for him.
Oh yeah, Big Pete. All right, so the speed round is a series of questions. You guys just throw out the first thing that comes to your mind. And the first one is, who has the worst habit on tour and what is it?
Me, texting and driving.
Yeah. Next question.
All right, Pete, texting and driving. What is the go-to item on the Taco Bell menu?
These guys get the boxes because they're cheaper on the mobile app. They do the mobile app with the box, right?
I don't do the box.
So
that's a Ricky move.
So Rick, our trombone player, does the. He's got the app, and you can get a 5-layer burrito, a crunch wrap, a cheesy potato, and a drink for like $6. So, and one of those items alone is like $4, $4.50. So yeah, we do the box. Henry, what do you get?
I usually get stuff off like the cravings menu. So just the $2, $3 items. I get 2 or 3 of those things and call them.
I usually get a cup of ice and chew it.
Why don't you get the box then? Because you'll be spending probably less money and getting better
Because
food.
can I be honest with you? I don't want the things in the box. You are relegated to the items that offer in the boxes, and I don't like being told.
Sometimes I suck on the cardboard.
Oh, it's all right. It's all
That's
right.
the
You
vegan
guys,
option.
you got to
They
be
got red-
frugal.
Vegan. The cardboard is vegan.
Red
So
40.
yeah.
Gotcha. You got to be frugal on tour, so I get it. All right. Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Oh,
In-N-Out.
Really?
I don't really like one.
In-N-Out for me
No,
as
you
well.
don't. We've talked
Dude,
about
you got
this.
Henry put me on it. Yo, Flying Dutchman. It's got no buns. It's got all them onions on it. Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
that's good for the people who watch the carbs these days. I'd probably go In-N-Out, although yeah, In-N-Out. It's not as heavy as
It's
Whataburger.
also cheaper.
I go
Whataburger-
In-N-Out because Rick gets a milkshake there, and I watch him drink it.
Right.
There you go, man. Those shakes are no joke. They're legit.
And also one time, me and Johnny were working on a tour, and we went with a bunch of people from Sweden, and they gave us free milkshakes.
They did, and I watched them drink those too. You know what? In-N-Out does the well done French fry, and that's the thing I actually can eat, and it's wonderful.
Which really is the only way to eat their French
They're
fries.
so
to be honest
crispy,
with you.
so crispy.
You need to make them well done, otherwise they're so.
All right. One for all three of you. On your respective playlists, what is the one song you cannot skip?
Like what would
I've never made a playlist.
John doesn't make play. John is listening to music.
Ever.
It's a weird
Ever.
thing.
Wow.
It's not a brag. It's sad, probably. You guys go first. I'll think
I
about
don't really
mine.
make
I'm a stupid
playlists.
answer. I'm a weird answer.
Give it. First thing, come on.
I listen to a lot of Spanish music. It would be La Cumbia de los Trapos by Sherba Brava from Argentina.
Okay. All right.
Look it up. What are you sorry about? That's what you
it'd
listen
be
to.
that
That's what
one.
you like.
I don't have an answer right now. I have a very strange AI generated song stuck in my head.
Wow.
For me, it would be
that's all I've got
any
right now.
playlist that had Weird Al or Mighty Mighty Boss Tones on it. If someone skipped that song, whatever it was, I'd say something out loud. Other than that, I've never cared. But if I'd be like, why would you skip that? Then I know that would happen with those two artists.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mine is The Best of Me by The Starting Line. I don't care how many times I've heard that song. I cannot skip it.
Pete does not know that one.
Wow. Wow.
I just started listening to Saves the Day, and
Yeah, he's recently found out about Save the Day.
Which record?
we try.
He's new to that. And we also listened to some Lifetime on this 36-hour drive.
Yeah, but I like.
Yeah, but
I
you
like
already
the
knew
one
Life. I
record.
know you
like
already
the one
liked
record.
Life. You like Jersey's
He
Best.
even
Hits.
switched to the self-titled for me, which was very kind of him.
I love the subtitle.
You did?
No, I didn't. That's
Oh,
a
you
lie.
did? Oh.
Airport Monday morning and shit.
Where are you from?
Originally
Okay.
Spokane, and I'm in
Okay.
Montana now. Yeah.
Yep. My boy's moving to Billings.
Okay.
He's
All
moving
right.
back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Moving to
All right,
Athens.
keep them coming.
All right. Bucket list, city or venue?
Oh,
Oh, the place you said in Montana. I want to go there now. The one that's really north.
Great
No,
Falls.
no. Honestly, you know what it is now for me?
Red Rocks.
Where were those people from in Toronto that we played with? Vancouver Island? Was that?
Vancouver Island.
I want to play in Vancouver Island, Canada.
Okay.
It's all the way west, and you got to take a ferry to get
And
there.
you know what? I'm going to piggyback off of my boy Big Pete. We've done the Maritimes multiple times in Canada, but we've never done Newfoundland Island because it's a much larger task and you've got to fly there and
So
take a
far
very
away.
long ferry. I would feel good knowing we already have done those places, and most bands have never and never will. It would be nice to do one more that is like guaranteed that nobody else really will. I think Pup played there recently.
Okay.
But they're Canadian. So that's going to be mine. No venue. Anywhere that will host the show in Newfoundland Island. This is the two furthest west and east. Henry?
I think for me, I guess Red Rocks pops in my brain only because I've never been. And
Not the new Brooklyn Tavern?
I've been there. It's great. And I think for me, like enough people nationwide kind of know that they know of it. So if you say that you've done it, kind of solidifies or legitimizes you as like an artist, which I feel like I have to justify my experience enough. So I feel like if I say that I did that, it means that I really am an artist. So
I got one more kind of global, but we had some success last year supporting some legendary reggae and reggae rock bands, and we got a small taste of playing some of those port cities in the summer. And I would love, because these bands do it often, I would love to get support for one of those bands that does the coastal cities in the summertime, like all down the East Coast, because that every time I look at those flyers now, I'm like, I want to play all these places. They're all beachfront places. Everybody's having a good time. People are just sipping drinks.
Valley just did it again.
It just looks so fun and it looks so warm and welcoming. And that's what I want from this.
And last one, what is the must-have item in your green room?
Water. which
really
doesn't always get fulfilled. I know that doesn't sound like a big ask, but it can be.
Creamy peanut butter. I'll see myself out.
Ooh. That has been removed from the rider.
He never touches it.
Removed.
Wow. Because we use what? We get one scoop, and that's all they use. And then where does the rest of that go? And then we try to take it with us, and we have 4 peanut butters with us, which is ridiculous. So water. That's all I need.
It's water. And lately it's been, the touring team are energy drink users of several varieties. So we often just, when they say, oh, anything else?
We like Celsius.
If you could put any.
Dave likes Ghost.
Red Bull. Really?
Us.
Any energy.
I'm back in on the energy drink thing.
Oh, boy.
I've become someone who loves sugar-free Red Bull. And I'll never forget the first time we had a Ghost energy drink was in Billings, Montana.
Wow.
Because we had drink tickets and we had a long drive that night. And
this is true.
John and I were standing by the bar and we seen some insane looking neon colored can that said Ghost. And he was like, yo, if I get one of those crazy things, will you get one? And it was the cherry limeade Ghost. And since then, we also really love Ghost energy.
Yeah, and our teeth fell out. We all have veneers now.
Well, hey, they're always going to look sharp, though. I mean, that's a plus.
Well, we've had them filed sharp.
Oh, okay.
They look like sharp kind of teeth.
And mine are a little bit yellowed, so they're a little bit more realistic.
He had them painted, hand painted.
Got to have them tinted for the realism.
Yeah.
All right, so
tinted.
So the real last one here that I want to know that just came to mind is what is a tour hack or even a tour don't? I know for me, as an example for you guys, we would play in Seattle a lot, and that drive from Spokane to Seattle is about 4.5 hours. So for whatever reason, we always drove back after the show. I thought it was stupid. It's like, we know enough people, we should just crash here. But we wouldn't. We would drive back, and our singer who drove most of the way wouldn't listen to music. He would listen to stand-up comedy, because he said if you fall into a music playlist, you've heard it before, it's going to rock you to sleep. Where if you're actively listening for like a punchline and laughing, like you're going to stay awake. So that was his like hack or his trick to long distance driving. So what's a hack or a definite don't for tour for you guys that you've learned over 10 years?
I don't really drive for the band anymore, but when I was a driver for touring and stuff, 100% stand-up was great for long night drives. Definitely more engaging than songs, which can be repetitive and lull you.
I got mine.
Go ahead, you go.
Mine is also going to be global because it can be applied to many things. Just ask.
Just ask.
In regards to what you said about places to stay, we still currently, some cities, I ask on stage because it's just, why not? Because, hey, the hotels are $250 and we don't feel like driving. Also, really with anything, with any question, we get this with a lot of the younger bands that are asking us, how do you guys, like, I always see that you guys, like, you eat Chipotle and you get it for free, because we call and we ask. We ask.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
They have every right to say no, and they do. but sometimes we ask and we get it.
That's it. Just don't be afraid to ask. I know the climate's changed post-pandemic. I know that people are different. If you got the fortitude in you to just ask, you should. You should, because the worst thing they're going to say is no, and that is in regards to literally anything. Anything.
Yeah, that's how I get guests on the show. I ask.
Ask. There you go.
That's it.
And here's Pete's hack. Here he comes. He's
Bring it
coming
on,
from
Pete.
the Crips back here. The Cowboys.
We end your show with this right here.
I was going to give a serious one.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a lot to say a lot of the time. I think that mostly John and Henry speak for me. But I guess that the number one thing, I guess hack, it's not even a hack. I think that you need to stay as positive as you can on the road as much as you can. And I think that might sound a little, I don't want to sound hypocritical because I'm certainly guilty of not doing that. But like, you play some shows that are going to suck. And a sucky show for us is different than a sucky show for a band like Blink-182. But, a sucky show for us, there was 5 people there. Or we sold 1 shirt. Or we're on stage and nobody's moving, and it's very easy to fall into the hole of, oh, I don't want to be here and I don't want to do it. But I think that if you take that energy and turn it into this show sucks, I feel like shit, but I'm gonna just have fun anyways, and I'm gonna have fun with my friends, and we're gonna look at each other on stage and laugh, and we're gonna make the best of it, then it'll make the next time you play a show like that not nearly as bad. That makes sense?
Yeah. I think that was zen. And I think that was perfect. And yeah, that is the great way to end the interview with the boys of Keep Flying. They're on tour now. The album is Time and Tide. They're on wave 2 of the tour, coming to a city near you, and on a podcast that has had Mike Herrera, Jarrett Reddick, Real Big Fish members, and Kevin Lyman twice. We can now add Keep Flying to not 1 but 2 lists, the list of great guests on the show, and a list of bands that I have discovered through the Vans Warped Tour compilation CD, which is available through Smart Punk. So you guys have a great tour. Thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome. Anything else you want to throw out there that the fans should know about Keep Flying before we cut this thing off?
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
I think we're pretty all right.
We're here first.
All right, guys. So that's going to do it for the boys of Keep Flying. I am the T-Man, Richard T-Man, and we will see you next time.
T-Man.
T-Man.